Hey guys, I've got chapter 4 here for you, and remember at the end of chapter 3, I told you I was really excited about chapter 4 because we might be introduced to some new characters today. This is going to be actually chapter 4, take 2. I tried to read it outside with my two lovely children, and that didn't work. So here we go. All right, so this chapter is called Hello Funcrafts. Annabelle stared at her uncle. "You are?" she said at last, because remember he said he's going with them. "Yes, but why?" "I just am." "Me too," said Bobby. Mama put her hand over her heart. "I insist on only one thing," said Uncle Doll, "that we go tomorrow night. It's too late to leave now. The Palmers will be up soon. We must leave when we have plenty of time to get down the stool, and more important, to get back up the stool when we return." And so it was settled. Mama, Papa, and Nanny were very frightened, but Uncle Doll had a private chat with them. Annabelle couldn't hear what was said to them, but when the chat was over, they agreed unhappily, and Annabelle and Bobby could go with Uncle Doll. I'm kind of surprised they agreed to that. Annabelle was jubilant, but how was she ever going to manage to wait during the whole long next day until the Palmers went to bed again? She did manage, of course, even though she was sure it was the most boring day of her entire life. The only vaguely interesting thing that happened was that just after lunchtime, a delivery truck pulled into the Palmer's driveway. The doorbell rang, and through Kate's open window, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine say to the delivery person, just in time. Her birthday's almost here. I have to hide this before she sees it." A moment later, the front door closed. Not long after that, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine come puffing up the stairs, and she heard a thud. The sound of another door opening, of something being slid across the floor, and of the door then being closed. If you remember in the chapter we read earlier, when Nora came in Kate's room and played Rancher Family, and Kate got really mad at her, she said, "Oh, I can't wait till it's your birthday." So I wonder if this has something to do with that. "I bet Grandma Catherine just hid Nora's birthday present," Annabelle thought, and she spent quite a bit of the rest of the day wondering what the present could be. By the time Kate went to bed that night, though, Annabelle had stopped thinking about the present. All she wanted was for Kate and the rest of the Palmers to fall asleep and for the deepest night to descend. And when it did, Annabelle ran to the front of the dollhouse and looked across Kate's room. She could just make out the captain at the foot of Kate's bed. "I think he's asleep," Annabelle whispered to Uncle Doll. "I hope so," Uncle Doll replied nervously. "Are you ready?" Annabelle asked Bobby and her uncle, and they nodded. "Well then, this is goodbye," Annabelle said to the rest of her family. "Only for a few hours," said Bobby. But Mama and Papa and Nanny looked as though they might never see the explorers again. "We'll be back by 4:30, promised Uncle Doll. Mama swallowed hard, and Nanny turned away. "Righto," said Papa. Annabelle jumped from the parlor down to the stool, and at the edge of the top step she knelt, turned, and slid backwards onto the next step, landing with a small thump. Bobby and Uncle Doll followed her, and a few minutes later they were all sprawled on a heap in the floor. Bobby glanced at Kate's bed. "Is she still asleep?" he asked. "I think so," whispered Annabelle. "Is the captain still asleep?" asked Uncle Doll. "I hope so," said Annabelle. "Let's go." Uncle Doll hesitated. "Oh, please don't change your mind. Think of Auntie Sarah. She needs us," whispered Annabelle. Uncle Doll straightened himself. "Let's hurry then," he said. Annabelle led the way through the darkness across Kate's room. They stopped at the doorway into the hall. Annabelle peered cautiously around it. "I don't see anything," she said. She stepped into the hall. It was very long and very dark. "Did the captain see us?" she asked Uncle Doll. "I don't think so." "Then let's start looking." "Remember, we can't call for Auntie Sarah," said Uncle Doll. "Someone might hear us. All we can do is search." Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll peered into the other rooms. They scooted under dressers and beds and armchairs. They peeked into closets and investigated shoes and slippers. "If I were Auntie Sarah, I wonder where I would be," said Bobby after a while. "She must be up high. If she were down low, the humans would have found her long ago. Unless she's really hidden." You know how I've always told you guys that great readers make connections to what they read, either a text-to-text connection, this book reminds me of something else I've read, or a text-to-self connection, this book reminds me of something that happened. This reminds me of a part. Today we have a little Roomba vacuum, robot vacuum that goes around the house and cleans up all the dog hair and other stuff on the floor. And it got lost today. I could not find him anywhere. It was really funny, but it took me a really long time to find him, and he was hidden inside something, or in a box, or a trunk, or in a box, in a trunk, in a closet. I'm going to call for her anyway, said Bobby. Uncle Dog grabbed his arm. I won't call loudly, said Bobby. I'll just call like this. Auntie Sarah. See? That's not too loud. I'll call too, said Annabelle. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll were standing against a wall in a room with a couch and 2 chairs, but no bed. Whose room is this? Whispered Annabelle. I don't think it's a bedroom, replied Uncle Doll. It looks like a sitting room. Good. We can call a little more loudly in here, said Bobby. Auntie Sarah, Annabelle and Bobby called. Auntie Sarah. Hey, said Annabelle. Did you hear something? Yeah, it sounded like a little voice, exclaimed Uncle Doll. Listen. And after a moment, Annabelle heard the voice again. Help, it called. Help, help. And then, help, cried another voice. Help us. Uncle Doll, said Bobby, does that sound like Auntie Sarah to you? Uncle Doll shook his head. If it's Auntie Sarah, she's with someone else, added Annabelle. She raised her voice slightly. Auntie Sarah, is that you? Where are you? We're over here, in this box, one of the voices replied. I think we're in a closet, another voice added, but there's no one here named Auntie Sarah. There's Uncle Doll and Bobby and Annabelle looking up at the box that they found. Annabelle spotted a closet door slightly ajar. Come on, she said to Bobby and Uncle Doll, and together they managed to swing the door open, and by the moonlight streaming through a window, Annabelle could just make out a large cardboard carton with some letters and words printed on the side. Hello? Said Annabelle. Hello? Replied a voice from inside the box. Who are you? Asked Annabelle. We are the Funcrafts. I'm Mom Funcraft. I'm Dad Funcraft, said a second voice. I'm Tiffany Funcraft. I'm the big sister. I'm Bailey Funcraft, the brother, said a younger sounding voice. Baby Brittany's here too, said Mom Funcraft's voice, but she's asleep. And anyway, she can't talk yet, added Tiffany. Who are you? Asked Dad Funcraft. And who's Auntie Sarah? I'm Annabelle Doll, said Annabelle, and this is my brother Bobby and my uncle. Auntie Sarah is my aunt, Uncle Doll's wife. She's been missing for decades. We thought we'd look for her tonight. Annabelle's voice trailed off. She was trying to read the words on the side of the box. It said, Funcraft Doll and Dream House Set Model 110. Includes plastic dream house, doll family, all furniture, and snap-on clothes and parts pictured on front. Not recommended for children under 3. Bobby, Uncle Doll, said Annabelle in a loud whisper. Another doll family is inside this box. I wonder which doll maker made them and how long it took them to travel across the ocean, asked Bobby. I don't know, but let's see what's pictured on front, said Annabelle. Annabelle and Bobby and Uncle Doll scurried around to the other side of the carton. To Annabelle's dismay, she discovered that the front was the side that had been placed on the floor. Oh, rats, she exclaimed. I wanted to see what they looked like. Hello, are you still there? Called a voice. It sounded like Mom Funcraft. Yes, we're here, said Annabelle. She paused. Then she called, Did you come from England? How was your trip? Annabelle and her family came from England, so that's the only place they know that dolls come from, so they're wondering if they came from there too. England, replied Mom Funcraft. Is that a factory? That's where we came from, a factory in Cleveland. It's called Marwin Incorporated, Dad Funcraft volunteered. Perhaps you've heard of it? Marwin Ink Factory in Cleveland? No. Where's Cleveland? Asked Uncle Doll. Well, said Dad Funcraft. Never mind, said Annabelle. You know what? Our families are just the same. We each have a mother and a father, a big sister, a little brother, and a baby sister. I'm not a little brother, said Bobby. Neither am I, said Bailey from inside the box. Plus, Bobby went on indignantly, we have an uncle and auntie and nanny. We have a cat, said Tiffany. Her name's Kitty, Kitty Funcraft. A cat, exclaimed Annabelle. Is she alive? Of course not, said Tiffany. She's a toy animal. Whew, Annabelle breathed a sigh of relief. She wondered if Tiffany looked like her. Annabelle decided she did. All dollhouse dolls pretty much looked the same. Tiffany wouldn't have green paint on her hair, though, from long ago accident involving a paintbrush like Annabelle did. And Tiffany would probably be clean and sparkling and new, her china skin smooth and uncracked, her clothes bright and not yet faded, but otherwise, Annabelle thought, she and Tiffany must look the same. "When are your birthdays?" asked Annabelle. "What kind of toys do you have?" asked Bobby. Excuse me," said Mom Funcraft, "but before we answer your questions, do you think you could get us out of this box?" "Oh, goodness, no," said Uncle Doll. "We couldn't do that. What would the Palmers think?" "The Palmers?" repeated Dad Funcraft. "This is their house," said Annabelle, "and we, my family and I, live in Kate Palmer's room. Kate is 8. She takes care of our dollhouse. I think you're going to be Nora's dolls. Nora is Kate's little sister." Annabelle glanced at Bobby and Uncle Doll. She knew what they were thinking. It was the same thing Annabelle was thinking. Those poor, poor Funcrafts. They have no idea what they're getting into. Nora's dolls? What a frightening thought. I hope they are strong. I hope they like animals. The Palmer's grandfather clock chimed, and Uncle Doll took Annabelle's arm. "It's time to start heading back. It may take us a while to climb up the stool." So there's Uncle Doll and Annabelle looking at the side of the Funcrafts. Oh, and Bobby's down there too, looking at the side of the new Funcraft family box. "We have to go now," Annabelle called to the Funcrafts. "Oh, froggies," said Tiffany. "You do?" "Yes, but I don't think you're going to be stuck in this box for long. And as soon as you've been unpacked and set up in Nora's room, we'll come visit you." "Promise?" said Tiffany. "Promise," replied Annabelle. "We'll bring our whole family," added Bobby. "All right," said Tiffany. "It was nice meeting you," called Mom Funcraft. "It was nice meeting you," Annabelle replied politely. Then she and Bobby and Uncle Doll scooted out of the closet, through the sitting room, and down the dark hall to Kate's room. They hoisted themselves up the last step of the stool just as the clock chimed 4:30. They said they'd be back at 4:30, and they were, so I bet Mom will be relieved. So I hope you guys are enjoying the book. I would love if your parents could send me some pictures either on email or Remind or however they want to communicate that. I'd love to see some pictures of you guys either listening to these videos with a book or something else you're working on, maybe a directed drawing or something, anything cool, exciting that you're doing. I'd love for your parents to send me that, and I can post those on our class Instagram page so you guys can still see each other. And another cool idea I had was possibly writing letters back and forth to each other. I know your parents have the class directory with addresses of people who shared that, and if they need me to re-email that to them, I don't mind at all. So just another cool way to stay in touch while we can't see each other for a little bit longer. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for Chapter 5. Bye!